Hello, this is Greg Nikolai, and welcome to our 15th episode of We've Got You Covered. Hey, everybody. Hope you're safe. Up until now, we've been talking about gaining momentum on COVID and reopening our states and getting back to work, and that's really the remedy for all of the problems that we're having. Getting out of the business interruption, insurance problems, as well as improving the economy, getting everybody back to work. But no one could have known last week that we would be talking about developments socially with regard to what happened to George Floyd last week. Obviously, nobody stands for what occurred. What we all saw on the video was awful. It is not what our country stands for, and the premise of our country that all men are created equal. And obviously, we need to be addressing that. And unfortunately, over the weekend, we saw that the protests devolved into full-blown riots in many areas. That was also very difficult for anybody to watch, very sad. And however, I want to focus on positives. I want to reference an incredible moment I saw between police and community, and that was in Flint, Michigan. Searching on social media, the sheriff there had an unbelievable moment of outreach to the community where the police actually put down their helmets and put down their batons and said, "This is not what we stand for. We value our community, we love our community, and we're here to protect you." And that resulted in the community and the police officers walking together to express their anti-treatment of George Floyd and the awful videotape that we all watched. So hopefully that's the blueprint, I think, for getting back together as a country. This is primarily an information-based insurance podcast, but we do have to mention things that we see when it's actually making history in our country. I will get into the insurance side of it for those businesses that were in the direct path of these riots and experienced damage. That is actually a covered event on your insurance, so it actually would be covered. If you were not covered because of COVID and the virus wording exclusions and policies, you now would be covered if your business was damaged due to riot or vandalism. Also, we're going to go back to our normal weekly update for the PPP. We did have some news, the loan forgiveness program. A time that you have to use the monies that you received is normally 8 weeks. It's now been extended to a period beyond that. It's not finalized, but we'll see. That's going to help give you more time to spend any loan proceeds that you received. And as well, the PPP wording required that 75% of the proceeds of the loan be used on payroll. It has now been reduced to 60% to recognize the fact that PPP recipients have to pay things like rents and mortgages. They have to be able to keep their businesses. Otherwise, there's no business to return to. And then another development is on the auto insurance side, personal auto. We are seeing announcements that the discounts that were provided due to quarantine for April and May were extended, are being extended incrementally into June and maybe even further. So look for your carrier to do that. Now jumping over to the different categories of insurance and what updates they have on that. Business insurance, as always, make sure you're repricing your policy. Your exposures have changed, your payrolls have changed, your sales have changed. Insurance carriers are willing to reprice your policies to what you currently look like your exposure base. We are helping clients save thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars repricing their policies. I actually saw a restaurant that announced that it was shutting down for the remainder of the year, or at least during their seasonal business, due to insurance issues and costs. And I really think they probably aren't talking to the right broker, because they are able to reprice their policies and get those costs in line with what they're doing now, which is probably little to no income. Obviously, also make sure you're making a claim on your policy for business interruption. Make sure you're on record with a claim submitted to the insurance carrier, so that if there's a break on the litigation side, you have a claim to reference that you might be able to overturn. And then finally, make sure you're taking advantage of premium pauses. You can, on business insurance, you can extend premium payment requirements for up to 90 days if you need help making premium payments. Over to personal insurance, as we just mentioned, make sure you're getting your personal auto discounts. They are being extended and carriers are announcing that individually. So see if your carrier is announcing anything. And if you need help paying premiums, you can also pause those policies for 90 days. On the life insurance side, we've been talking about simplified and accelerated issue life insurance policies for things like estate planning, family protection, business demand insurance, or buy-sell insurance. So if you have a need for that insurance, this is a great time to buy it. Also, you have a 90-day payment pause, premium pause on these policies as well. If you need help paying these premiums, you can push out your premium due dates for 90 days on life insurance. We've been issuing a lot of life insurance policies for these types of needs, and if you're eligible, they do go through very smoothly right now. So good opportunity, good market for life insurance. And then finally, on the health insurance side, I think this will be the third week in a row, but I'd like to credit United Healthcare for all of the efforts they've made in providing discounts on their group health premium payments, because all of the services have been really just COVID, and their normal expenses are significantly down as a result of that, since other health insurance services are either paused or pushed off into the future. And then finally, on health insurance, if you need a premium payment assistance, you can get an extension for 60 days on health insurance. So make sure you're reaching out to your carrier if you need help with that. That's all the insurance and COVID news we have for this week. Stay safe, stay healthy, make sure you're socially distancing, and we hope for better news in the future. We'll talk next week. Thanks.